Welcome back, everyone. I'm Crane Bramp, your old Brainiacs, and today on Indie Gaming Lunch, we're back with another Steam Next Fest title, Vampire Hunters by Gamecraft Studios. It's a roguelike, bullet hell, hallway battler with some pretty deep meta progression, so strap on that elemental rifle and step out in the hallway with me. We got some killing to do. Come on in, guys, and welcome to another Indie Gaming Lunch. If you're new here, just grab a seat anywhere, man. There's drinks in the fridge. Today, we're covering an interesting roguelike FPS. There's not too many of these, and Vampire Hunters has some fairly interesting concepts, so let's take a look. Now, although I do love a good survival crafting game, roguelikes have a really special place in my heart. And Vampire Hunters has tickled that fancy just a little bit. So, Vampire Hunters basically takes the 2D auto battler template that Vampire Survivors started with the whole bullet heaven thing and moves it into a 3D space reimagined as a roguelike bullet hell FPS hallway battler. Now, that sounds like a lot, but it works, and I've enjoyed the time I've put into it. Really interested to see where it's going. So, one of the biggest questions with a roguelike is, of course, meta progression. How does it feel? How much is there? Is it a grind or a pleasure? And so on. So here's the meta progression screen. At this point, I've put around, I'd say, 2 hours of gameplay in, and I've only, in the last 3 runs I've made, beaten the boss of level 1. This is a decent progression, I think, and if the developer can balance that grind with the progression, it could definitely be a winner. Now, I do wonder if perhaps this, kind of like Vampire Survivors, could maybe spawn a fresh wave of battlers, but in first person. Anyway, there's quite a bit of meta progression already, even in the demo, and some of these items upgrade to level 50 and beyond, so that promises a lot of meta progression. Probably the next question is, what's worked for me? Keep in mind, this is a demo. This might change by the time it comes out. But the first things that you should concentrate on are magnet for pickup range and gold chance. When you start out, your pickup range is absolutely abysmal, as in have to walk right over the item. Magnet level 5, when I'm going down the hallway and I look behind me, seems to pick up about 95% of everything that gets dropped. That's good enough for me. Next, that gold chance, gold drives your entire meta progression. So any points into increasing your gold drop just makes you progress faster. So most of my run through the tutorial level was just spent dumping points into pickup range and gold chance, and then I proceeded on to the first level. We'll talk about those levels in a minute. So after those two, I kind of bounced around. Raw damage is important, as is reload, and I've dumped considerable points into healing. As far as I can tell, there are no health pickups, so this healing is it. All right, there are also achievements which you get for various things. Reach combo level 80, reach combo level 50, reach level 5, reach level 10, kill so many monsters, kill certain monsters. You know how it goes. And you get gold for that, and you can spend that towards your meta progression also. So let's go on and take a look at the play style. So when you start off, you don't necessarily, I know this says choose a character. You don't necessarily choose a character, you choose a starting weapon. And I've unlocked a few of these. We'll take a look at them. So for example, the revolver, everything has usually a passive. So increases the chance to drop an extra soul by 20%. The shotgun increases all weapon damage by 12.5% when your hit point is below 30% and increases the blood gained by 20%. Probably because, you know, shotguns blow stuff up. The rifle regenerates your hit point by 0.06 a second, increases the time to combo by 0.25 seconds. Now, something I want to note, this game, you can have a ton of weapons. You can even have extra hands. It can get fairly ridiculous. However, I don't know if these passives stack. The game doesn't have a lot of documentation, so I don't know if these stack or if it's just your starting weapon that gets these. But so far, the best one I found so far is the elemental rifle. So it increases your chance of ignoring damage by 5%. Not bad. The big one increases all weapons damage by 50% and then increases all weapon reload speed by 10%. So we're going to start with that. There are 2 current levels in the demo. That is Hunter Training and Colonade. I'm going to go on and start with hunter training. Also, I want to note that I did not record my first runs with this, probably a mistake. And I can't figure out a way to reset my progress. So I was going to show you a run without any meta progression at all, which you can't even make it through training. But yeah, didn't quite work out that way. But anyway, this will give you an idea of just what it's like. So this, I don't know what it's called. I call it the pusher, but it basically comes behind you and it will start pushing you if you slow down too much and also doing damage. So every level you get, it's just like a normal like auto battler progression, except this is an FPS, obviously. You get a choice of either upgrading your current weapon, one of your current weapons, or grabbing another one. So we're going to grab, I tell you what, we'll grab the Dragon Whip. So we get it again. Now there's a bat, which is also a melee weapon. Like I said, these don't have descriptions, but we'll go on and get the freeze stops enemies. Definitely a good thing. Now, these weapons do have ammo. You do have to reload. They auto reload, but that's about it. See, I'm reloading now. So it's definitely about getting all the guns that you can, because it not only does extra damage and you get extra abilities with them, it gives you the opportunity that hold the trigger or flamethrower. We'll do rifle. I haven't had a lot of luck with flamethrower, so extra damage. So the Dragon Whip, as far as I can tell, is a melee weapon. I haven't used it a lot. What I'm hoping is that if bats get close enough, that it'll take them out. Definitely Boss Slayer. Any weapon you get, you want Boss Slayer simply because it does extra damage, and by the time you get to the bosses, they have so many hit points, they're pushing you back, and the pusher is gaining on you, which is never a good thing. Let's do laser. I'm trying to stay away from weapons that I'm going to use in the second run. I have a particular build in mind for it to see if we can beat the boss on that run. So, but it does get pretty heckers. Missile. So missile is a single shot. So you have weapons that you can hold down the trigger that are full auto, and you have weapons that are single shot. It's a weird mix. I don't know if I actually like that or not. I think in a way that there shouldn't be any single shots in the game, but you can work it by pumping the fire button. So it does work out. See? But you have things like the laser, and there are no rerolls from what I can tell. So you just get what you get. We'll do that. So some of the weapons don't necessarily seem to fit together as far as playing style. Let's go with the launcher. I'm gonna make this a run. We're gonna get all the stuff we can. Minigun, we'll take that. But like I said, some of them are single shots, some of them are full auto, and they just don't seem to mix that well sometimes. So I don't know. We'll go with the sniper. As you can see, you can definitely get weapons. You can get a second hand, which is really nice. Why don't we do the launcher? So it's basically a bomb that gets launched in an arc. Semi-useful. Definitely Boss Slayer on the rifle. Now I'm sprinting as much as I can in between. We'll go with Boss Slayer on the minigun because I have the pusher somewhere behind me. Also, there is I don't know what it's called, but it's basically a blood dash. This orb down here fills up with quote-unquote blood as you kill things. Why don't we take the bat, since this is a get as many weapons as you can run. I really like the missile for the bats. Bats are like a major problem, like late run when there's just 50,000 of the things. You know what I'm saying? Boss Slayer on the launcher, definitely. There we go. Pick up all this experience. We'll go with auto fire on the revolver. As you can see, the missiles do not auto fire. I don't know if there's actually an upgrade that makes them auto fire. Everybody die. Everybody. Now you see why I try to get as far ahead as I can. Let's go auto fire for the sniper. Let's do our blood dash to move forward. Blood dash kills everything in front of you. Minigun, ammo. Reload time is nice. More ammo seems to work better than reload time. Extra damage from the machine gun. But I can imagine on later levels, this would get absolutely heckers right here. And it probably will in our later run. Let's go with critical on the minigun. Anything, once you get your upgrades, definitely damage is a big one. Like, whoa, that is a lot. Let's do familiar rat. That's actually a ground attack. I think that's our boss. Our tutorial boss, at least. Why don't we pump it, get those missiles working. Auto fire on the launcher. Almost down. He's down to about a third. I don't think blood dash does anything against bosses. And die. You skull. Die. You win. Yay. All right. So on to our second run. Yep, the pusher is behind us. We are immediately going to blood dash down the hallway to try to get us some distance in between us and the pusher. I try to dash as much as I can. I will take that machine gun. So I'm going to try I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try a run where I'm going to try to focus. Yeah, so hold the trigger. Damage increases the longer you hold the trigger. I'm basically going to try for a mash button build. We're gonna see what kind of choices we get. Remember, as far as I can tell, there are no rerolls. They may add them at a later time, but currently it's just whatever you get, that's what you get. I'll take the minigun. At the moment, it's more important to be able to put more lead on the field than anything else. We'll go with that reload speed. So if I get an option like a minigun or something like that, I'm going to take it over the other stuff, and then we'll worry about upgrading their damage and all that stuff later. Piercing is not as good as you think it is. Especially in these thick hallway battles, because most of these guys appear like scattered around the screen. But, you know what? I've never used the sniper. Let's try it out. Unfortunately, it's probably not a hold down the extra damage for the elemental rifle, not hold down the button weapon, but that's fine. If I get missiles, I'm taking it. Definitely hold the trigger. We'll use that on bosses later on in the run is the idea. And when it gets really thick and heavy. Our dash is ready too. Reload speed's fine. I want to get all the way through that. A laser I do have to hold down, so no thank you. Critical chance. Reload speed is not as important if you have enough guns. Now, of course, your guns can all run out at the same time. Not a big... That doesn't stop you from that. Auto fire for the sniper. There we go. Now we can just hold it down. It does auto reload. I still like to pump the button when I can because it saves your ammo, but it is nice to know that you can just hold that sucker down when you need to. Don't want the rifle. Critical chance, critical damage, critical chance. It puts out enough bullets that I think chance is a better one than damage. Not sure what these green guys are. They get like a transparent bubble around them. Maybe green means poison. You take some kind of DOT. Not really sure yet. Increase our damage. Again, right now it's all about raw damage output and how much actual lead I can put downstream. Oh, I don't think I've seen that. I'll take that. We'll take the rampage. Fires faster when you go down in health. Usually by that time you're pretty much screwed, but you know, once you get a bunch of healing, if you're deep in the meta progression, that probably means more. Definitely Boss Slayer. If you run to get any choices in a long run for Boss Slayer, take it for your weapons. Because the last half of the first level is basically nothing but bosses, so I assume it's going to kind of be like that. That most of the stuff appears close to you. This doesn't even seem useful, so we'll take submachine gun. More lead. Blood dash. It is kind of hard to see them at times. Usually this is where I take a little damage in the round until I get down here. We'll go for more ammo on the minigun because it's got such a long reload time. Ugh! Die, bats! There is a weapon called a bat that like bats them when they get close, but you really have to we'll take the orb. It's another ranged weapon that auto fires. All right, hold it down. Oh, ran out. I had to reload. Blood dash. Also, usually by this time, I might have missile, and missiles auto lock on the bat. So if you pump your mouse button, you get like tons of missiles coming out. That really helps with this level. Don't have them this time. That's fine. Adapt and overcome. Weakness or death reload chance. Death reload chance. I'm killing enough stuff that a chance to reload, insta reload on death is a good one because that gives me a weapon that, you know, has a better chance of having ammo when everything else runs out. Or the workhorse, the minigun, is reloading. So familiar rat attacks ground enemies. The problem is at this point it's like Meh. Familiar cat gives you bonuses, but I don't know what they are. So I guess max ammo. That was kind of a crappy choice, but yeah. So the cat, you'll get upgrades on it. It gives you more buffs. It does this, and it like meow. Okay, I'll get it and I'll show you. And it like it'll meow, and I'm like, was that a buff or was that, you know, what was that? So, man, I really want like increased damage, boss slayer, ricochet, but this is fine. We can do whatever. There you go. It just meowed. I have no idea what it did. I don't see anything on the screen. If somebody knows what the cat does, comment. I don't know what the bomb does. Sure, we'll get it. F in the chat for everybody. We just slaughtered with that. Definitely boss slayer for the minigun. I'd also like to point out there are no weak spots. So, and where your crosshair naturally falls, I'll take that ricochet definitely. This part of the run is all about basically just shooting them in the dick. So, yeah. Shoot them in the dick. That freeze. Okay, so these guys are the last thing before the boss on this level. And if you're not dealing enough damage by the time you get here, this is a death sentence. The ricochet is really helping out. I'm dealing far more damage than I usually do. See, buff. Gives random buff from time to time. Fine. I mean, the insta-death reload would have been nice on the elemental rifle, but I'd really like to know what the buffs do. If anybody sees any buffs or anything on the screen about the cat, just let me know. Yeah. I mean, I could have missed it. It could be like in some corner where I'm not seeing it while I'm trying not to die. You know how it goes. Yeah, this build has worked out really good. See, the biggest problem is by the time you get to the skulls, it's at this point it becomes a bullet hell with the skulls. So if you can't get rid of them fast enough, not only do they slow you down, but you end up with all these okay, so secondhand, so all of these weapons are like, you can get a second hand. I've already got a revolver with a clone of that weapon in it. So yeah, we'll go secondhand revolver, but yeah, all the guns, man. That's really what they ought to call this game, is just all the guns. Yeah, you can see how it gets a little bit hectic right here. F in the chat. Well, thank you for that meow. I'm still not sure what you're doing for me, but thank you very much. Oh man, these guys are so tough. Will you frickin' die? I also see quite a bit of crit damage. That may be part of it also. And I see crit damage on the ricochets as well. So it's like when I get to the second one in the line, like once I kill him and get to him, he's softened up. Same thing with him. And we make it to the end of the level. Now the question is, can we beat the boss? Hold the trigger. Damage increases the longer you hold the trigger. Sounds like it to me. Oh, this really sucks. So basically, we're going to have to run backwards. We're going to take damage, and then we're going to run backwards while trying to dodge these balls that are coming out of the ceiling. Now, we can see behind it. Like, I know what lane they're coming on if I can watch. Like, that one's going on that lane. We might get it. Need to get off that lane. Need to get off that lane. Yeah, I think we got him. Die, die, die. There we go. Woo. So I still don't know what the cat was doing for me, but it was meowing the heck out of it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you dropping in, man. Hanging out, spending a little bit of time with the community. You know how it goes. If you like what you see, if you like what you saw, hit that big red subscribe button. What do you think did the most damage? Looks like the minigun. No, yeah, the minigun by a long shot. But the elemental rifle and everything else. But once that minigun started up, it was at level 7. Yeah, it was doing good. All right, guys. Thank you. Peace out. See you next time on Indie Gaming Lunch.